it is a wonderful group and a wonderful program, and it's a great foundation to get going.
Hey guys, it's Alicia Ivins here on behalf of Mike Shreve and the No Pants Project. And today I have the awesome, super fun, exciting opportunity to speak with Chris Pearson, who is part of the No Pants Project. And Chris is going to tell us a little bit about his freelance journey and how he kind of started with the No Pants Project and the ups and downs and how he's landed to where he is now, and just motivate us and get us going. So Chris, thank you so much for joining us. I'm super excited to have you here.
Yeah, thanks, Alicia. I'm excited too, because I think having these testimonies and stuff, like, a lot of people like seeing these. It helps. So I'm excited to contribute.
Most definitely. Yeah. And I think whether you're inside the No Pants Project or, you're just in the open community, or you're just a freelancer, who likes to even watch these case studies, like, for me, it's very helpful to see where other people started from and to kind of see the ups and downs, because a lot of people kind of get in their mind like it's a straight trajectory, and to be able to see other people push through and continue to, to have like little blocks and then to overcome them. It's really nice to reaffirm, a lot of us, including myself, like, oh, it's okay. This is normal.
Yeah, no, I think you make a good point there, because I think that's the biggest struggle I've had up to this point, is like feeling alone in the process.
Mm-hmm.
But the No Pants Project community, whether the open or in the training and stuff, that has been like a key thing for me, is when you hit that block, I can go to the community and say, hey, I'm stuck. Help.
Definitely. Yeah, me too.
And there's somebody there. So.
Yep. I think community is key, especially when building a business. So tell me a little bit about your business. Like, what is your superpower? How do you help your clients?
Yeah, so right now I'm working off the superpower. I help businesses to generate more leads and sales online by increasing organic traffic to their websites, so they can make a bigger positive impact on the world.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm kind of working from that. It might sound a little general, because I'm kind of a jack of all trades when it comes to industries.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked in the oil fields, construction, marketing agencies, written about tons of things. So I'm still kind of figuring out which industry I want to dial it into.
Right.
So I'm still testing, honestly. I'm still testing things.
That's cool.
That's kind of where my superpower is at.
But you can have a generalized statement like that, and you could totally use it to test different things. Like, you could use that same statement to test content writing. You could use that same test, or like to test SEO and a whole bunch of different services, and just kind of detail it down in the actual, email, if you're sending cold emails or ad or lead offer.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's the strength of it, is that it's outcome based, not feature based.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a big thing that Mike, and I think Peter too, in one of the training videos or his Q&As that I've heard him say, is you want to deliver the outcome. The client's not really worried about it being a blog post or website optimization or paid ads. They just want the outcome of more leads or more sales or whatever that outcome is. And I think that's key.
I think that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. So how long have you been freelancing so far?
Coming up on the end of the 90-day mark, I think, with No Pants Project.
Woo-woo!
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I've got my accountability call. I believe it's tomorrow or Wednesday with Emma. So
yay!
Yeah, it's been a fun ride.
So you're enjoying it then? You like it?
Oh yeah, I love it. I've tried a few other programs in the past like 5 or 6 years, and the one thing they all were missing was the community. I think that's the biggest struggle, is, like I said earlier, like getting to a point where, like, I don't know what to do, or like I'm feeling this way and I don't know how to like work around it or through it, or I need a little reassurance, or like, is it worth it? And having somebody or a group to ask, say, hey, am I crazy? Like, is this supposed to happen? And then reassure you, like, it's so powerful.
I know. And I think, like, at least for me, I've purchased courses and stuff in the past too. And when you get to that point where you feel stuck, even the best laid out course, like even, someone who lays out their course perfectly, someone's going to have a question because
Mm-hmm.
you laid out perfectly for one type of person, and you're going to have 15 other people who might take that course. So it's super helpful to have that available to you.
Absolutely.
I'm going to pause this. Okay. So yeah, sorry about the small little feet. I was just explaining to Chris, if you guys heard small little feet running in the background, that we homeschool. And so that's one of the benefits to being able to freelance, which is super awesome. My oldest kid is 7, and she's a huge proponent of the No Pants Project. She likes to stay in her pajamas throughout the school day, and she only gets dressed when she's finished with her homeschool. She's like, "It's cool, Mom. We're in the No Pants Club. We can do this."
Yeah. Already recruiting the next generation is wonderful.
I know. So, tell me a little bit about your goals with freelancing. Like, you just started, you said you've been in the No Pants Project for 90 days or coming up on 90 days. What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, so I've got 2 different layers for goals. For 2019, I mean, initially the first 90 days of the No Pants, I just kind of want to get like everything figured out. I'm very, I go through things one piece at a time, and I figure out how it works, and then I set it aside, and then I go to the next piece, and then I go to the next piece, and I kind of just cycle through that way, and then I put it all together in a way that's kind of intuitive or nuanced to how I'm trying to run things. So that's kind of the first 90 days. I'm just testing things and breaking things essentially, and trying to figure out how it all fits together. On top of how Mike and everybody else has kind of been helping and teaching and things. So the first 90 days was, my goal is to get my goal was 25% of my total day job income. And right now I'm sitting at about 20%. So I'm really freaking close to hitting that goal. And then 2019, every quarter, I want to take another 25% chunk away from or replace 25% of my day job income. So basically 2019 for me is a transition year. And if I can just replace all of my day job income, I have no doubt in my mind I could probably double or triple it. That's kind of the goal, 2020, 2021. So I've kind of got a longer plan set, but depending on how things run, how I do all those things, they're all factors. So
I think you could totally shorten that, though. I mean, and I guess depending on what your daytime income is, but for me, like, I was able to, within, I think, a couple of months at least, replace mine and most of my husband's income. But it was really kind of dialing in. And then I, switched audiences. I'm testing some new offers, some new markets and things right now. But it was just that initial, like, hitting that number within like 60 days of being in the program and being like, holy crap, I can do this.
Yeah.
Like, that was amazing to me to be able to hit that point where I was like, this is totally possible. So
I agree. I think it will happen sooner. I'm giving myself longer runway because I tend to take more time on implementing than I am comprehending and like theorizing and stuff.
Right.
And that's kind of, I think Mike put in the Facebook group, he asked that he put that goal post up in the open community, I think.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I'm trying to change in 2019 is implement more. Don't think about it so much.
Right.
Because I'll think something to death before I do it. And that's like 70% of the work. The rest of it is actually doing it and getting the data back. And so as soon as I start implementing more, I think that those first 2 quarters, I think, are really going to be huge. That's
definitely. And I think too, because you'll be getting some data back a lot faster, that'll shift your trajectory and it'll help you get there a lot quicker than what you're expecting. That's really cool, man. Kudos to you. You already laid it out. Good for you. So before you started MPP, so you're kind of doing freelancing like on the side right now, I'm assuming, in addition to your day job still?
Yeah, so I've got that set up. I've got a full-time 40, 50-hour a week day job, and then 2 to 3 hours a day I'm spending on MPP and freelancing. So the trajectory for like kind of ramping up and transitioning into freelancing full-time, I think that's kind of the piece, is like, how much time am I going to actually commit every day to it?
Right.
I'm still learning how to, and this is something I'm learning, is balancing work, freelancing, and like me time.
Oh yeah.
I think it's a huge thing. Taking care of myself is something I'm learning right now, is like, yeah, I can work 14 hours a day, but that's not sustainable at all.
No. And you got to have time for beard oil and beard maintenance. And like, there's a whole thing right there.
And craft beer. I mean, I'm in Northern Colorado.
Yes.
20 plus breweries in Larimer County. It's like, it's insane.
Yeah. Well, you got to include, time for that. Like how many can I sample within 1 hour a day or, within,
A day.
if you do a flight, you're doing all right, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Eight to 12 flight. Yeah. Per flight. Yeah. That's about right.
All right. So before you started NPP, now were you freelancing before you started the No Pants Project or you were just kind of doing the day job?
I dabbled. I didn't really commit to anything. It was kind of like, I want to try this program. And then it got to the point of I got stuck and I tried figuring it out on my own. I couldn't figure it out really. And so I just kind of said, wow, I'm done dumping money into this because I ask questions. I'm trying to find answers to questions that I can't find on the internet. Like it's just really frustrating. So I'd get to a breaking point and then I'd break back off into, okay, I'm done doing this. I'm not going to try anymore. And that was a big worry when I got into NPP was like, I didn't know the community. I didn't know the group yet. The big reason why I decided to sign up was Mike mentioning in his webinar with his work with charities and stuff. So like having that bigger reason why you're doing something is super attractive to me. Because at the end of the day, when you sit down for 2 hours after a full day work, you're like, okay, after the fourth, fifth, sixth day of this, it's like, I have to have a bigger reason because I don't feel like doing this at all. I don't want to do it, but I know that, a year from now, this is where I want to be. That bigger reason why is paramount for me. So that's kind of the big reason why that kind of rolled out that way.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I think there's a really good book you might like too called, I think it's Simon Sinek. I'm going to say his name wrong, Sinek or something, but it's Find Your Why. It's a really good one.
I've read that one.
Yeah. See? No.
Yeah, I'm actually on a Brene Brown kick right now. I don't know if you've come across her stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, so
she's stuff. Yeah, I'm going to add it to my list though.
No, please do. She's got 5 or 6 books. Actually, I'll sell on the shelf there. She's got 5 or 6 books, but it's all about Daring Greatly is the name of one of them. Dare to Lead, Braving the Wilderness. Basically, the whole idea of like failing forward or like falling on your face after you mess up, how to actually get back up and keep going. It kind of covers that gap.
Oh, and that's great because I can kind of see that in all like your posts and everything that you've been doing. So I can see how that has started to kind of help implement in your brain. That's really cool.
Yeah, just noticing like that's where I struggle. This is where I'm going to focus on like self work and just like this is where I need to work on. I want to fail more and figure out how to do this.
Most definitely. So when you were doing the day job, so is that construction? Is that where you said you have a construction background? And I think you mentioned before that you've done some digital marketing too.
Yeah. So when I first moved to Colorado about a year ago or year and a half ago now, the first year I built with my dad. He builds pole barns, so construction industry. He's owned his own business for almost 40 years now. So for the last 40 years or 28 years, he's been whispering in my ear, "Hey, do your own thing, do your own thing, do your own thing." But it wasn't until a couple of years ago I figured out that writing and marketing is a part of writing, but just writing in general is kind of like my thing. That's what I like to do. So yeah, construction, oil field. Right now I'm at a marketing agency, but just a big agency. So it's, like I said, I'm kind of a jack of all trades. Like you give me a topic and I will go figure out how to write about it.
Right.
And that's kind of where I'm at now and where I was before is just a day job and come home at night and be like, do I want to write fiction? Do I just want to read? Do I want to really no direction? Just kind of hanging out. And that bugged the crap out of me.
But there's like a Grit by Angela Duckworth is a really good book too. And she talks about even at like the younger age, the younger stage of life, like children being allowed to explore a lot of different opportunities, a lot of extracurriculars and a lot of different things, because you have to figure out your passion. Like you've got to figure out what it is that you really enjoy doing. And so even for people who are just starting in the idea of freelancing or an entrepreneurship, like it's okay if you need to take some time and test a lot of things to figure out what you want to be when you grow up. I totally did.
Yeah, no, it's so true. And I feel like my life's kind of a testament to that because like I was an athlete for about 13 years, made it to the collegiate level. And then after that all ended and I decided to stop playing, that's what it was. Every year and a half, I was in a new industry, working, doing something. Because the last 13 years, it was just baseball, like period. That's all I did. So I'm kind of having, right now it's kind of the period of like, oh, I've tested a bunch of stuff. Now I know what I like to do. let's dial it in again. And then over the next 3 to 5 years, I'm going to dial in again or find something else or
Right.
whatever that is. And I've kind of combined that with freelancing, giving me the freedom to do that.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Like obviously there's more responsibility. Everything falls on me. It's always my fault. It's always my responsibility. Like everything's on me, but the payoff to it is once I get a system in place, kind of like how Mike teaches with everything, once that system's in place, it's just fine tuning it. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now in this last 30 days is fine tuning it so that in January upcoming, it's just turn it on and go and just find other ways to fail.
That's all it is. That's
Yep.
all it is. So you're working the full time, you're working for a digital marketing agency and kind of doing all that. And you're kind of, they've got you kind of doing a lot of different stuff.
Mhm.
Did you know kind of what you wanted to do? You kind of knew that you liked writing, but did you know that kind of going into the No Pants project? Did you know what your superpower would be, or you were still kind of exploring at that time?
I had an idea that communication or writing or something to do with communicating people with words was kind of the direction I wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
I like reading about psychology. I like behavior. I like people. I like asking why. And then marketing was another way, another channel that I enjoy, specifically just helping businesses help people, kind of mission driven, kind of like the website and your angle that you're doing with your stuff, mission driven companies and businesses and stuff. That to me is really attractive because there's a why behind it. So coming into it, it was kind of like it was kind of fuzzy. So doing that first, I guess you want to say first third of the No Pants project, I was everywhere. Like they're just like, oh, there's this, there's that, there's this, there's that, and I struggled through that first part because I was like, I don't know. What do I choose? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side of it, I'm like, I could do a superpower for each of these things and start a business with it, run some ads, set up a system. Like it's all there now. You just got to pick something and go test it and come back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how that unfolded.
Yeah. And you totally can. Like I still have a whole like deck of ideas for other businesses that I could start from experience and stuff that I have. And so, it's just kind of the same thing. You start one, you get it going, you come back to the others, and then you can implement others as you go along if you want to add on to that.
Yep.
So you mentioned like you'd already purchased courses before. So you were kind of curious about MPP going in, like, okay, Mike had already mentioned that he had like in his webinar that, he gives back and he does some stuff with nonprofits and stuff. But how was your confidence on your end going in? Like, I think he mentions in the webinar and in the training that he does offer coaching. That's part of the package. But did you have any questions like, okay, well, there's coaches, but can I do this? Because you'd already done so many other, like, was there a question on, I guess to try to figure out how to phrase it, was there a question on like, if you could plug yourself into the program well, or did you have any questions related to how that would work?
I think you hit that right on the head. The primary thing was what's the support system inside of the program? Because like I said before, that was the big roadblock for me in the other ones that I've tried, is that the support system was either kind of there or not there at all. It was just an information thing, which is fine. Some people work great that way. I don't. I need you to give me a bucket of stuff. I'll go run off and play with it. When I come back, I'll have questions for you. Give me another bucket. That's how I work. I'm introverted in that way, I guess. But yeah, that was kind of a question of like, okay, what's the coaching actually involved? What's the community like? I had yet to see the open community at all. This was just like, I think it was an ad on Facebook he was running.
Oh, wow. So you came straight in.
I came straight in. There was no exposure to any of the community at all. Webinar. And I was like, wow, this is actually like, it seems pretty awesome.
Yeah.
A different feeling than what I've had before. I think it kind of combined with the fact that I was like, okay, I need to do something like different. Like there's things I want to do in my life that a day job doesn't really allow me to do on my time when I choose to do it. So yeah, that's kind of my state of mind going into it. It was like, okay, I'll try it. But if the coaching and stuff doesn't work, we're just going to roll out and, go off and do what I was doing before. But it works. Like the coaching and the support in NPP is phenomenal. I love it.
It really is. Not because I'm in there, but because all the other people are in there who are way cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And the community itself is like, if you ask a question, you're going to get more than one answer most of the time.
Oh yeah.
And
And
it's,
you get like multiple answers from different people.
yeah, with different angles, different experiences, different, hey, try this, hey, test that. And that to me is a playground. Like, I love that.
It's your own personal sandbox.
It really is. So,
So since you started in PP, you said that you have kind of replaced, what was it, like 20% of your daytime income? So have
yeah.
you done that with one-off clients or with retainers, or kind of explain to me how that's worked for you?
Yeah. So I started out kind of working into the lighthouse angle with the client getting faucet. I was kind of struggling with it because I was like, I don't know who to target. I'm not really sure who I'm targeting. So I
Mm-hmm.
just jumped into the fast getting client workshop
Mm-hmm.
and I started just cold emailing. I sent out about, including sequences, I think it was around like 700 or 800 emails, including sequences, 3 to 5 email sequences.
Right.
So about 250, 200 emails, something like that for the initial one.
Mm-hmm.
And off of that, I had 4 discovery calls and I landed one of those clients. And
Nice.
then I used, this is the funny one. I got a second client that's a retainer client. He's a plumber in Texas. So I'm targeting mental health therapists with all my cold emailing. And I see one of my buddies in Texas invites me on Facebook to like his plumbing like business page. So I
Mm-hmm.
like it and I message him and I use the like introduction, like the cold email, one of the cold email templates in the Facebook message.
Yeah.
Like, hey Terry, I haven't talked to you in a while. I saw your Facebook page. It looks great. I'm excited to see how this all kind of rolls out. I didn't know you were a plumber. Like, that's awesome. And I just send him like, here's my superpower. You want to talk? And he called me in 2 hours. And he was like, I was actually about to buy these services from this one guy that I have no idea who it is, but I know you and I trust you. So when do I pay you?
Yay!
And I was
I
like,
love it.
all right, I mean, it worked. So I guess the takeaway from that is like, if there's an opportunity, try it. I mean, see what happens.
Yep. You can always like uncover a hidden or unknown superpower, or even just discover a new niche or a new group of people that you'd like to help, which is super
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, it really is. So, but yeah, that came up. He's on a retainer. The other client that I have is a little slower progressing with the trust and the services and stuff. Somebody I don't know. It was just off a discovery call. We've done some work together now this month, and then next month we're going to follow up and see like a retainer deal is what I'm going to try and pitch to him. But yeah, it's a little slower progress, but just delivering on the promises that I made him. I'll never be late. If I say it's going to be on this day, it'll be that day or before. Like things that I can control,
Right.
especially in SEO and marketing. It's like these are the things that get you traffic, but I can't control how much it's going to be, but I can deliver on these things. So yeah, so just kind of staying open with that in mind and asking a lot of questions
Mhm.
on the discovery calls is so positive. It helps so much.
There we go. Okay, so when you started in PP, so you're working 40 or 50 hours a week in your day job, and then you said you're kind of slicing out time to work on building your freelance business. Is that kind of a struggle for you, like trying to find that time, or did you have any other struggles when you were working through the program?
The biggest struggle was sitting down to do it. And I think that's, to me, when I talk to other people that are doing stuff outside of work or just extra, that's like, I don't know, I hear that over and over again in however they want to say it, but it's like just sitting down to do it. Once you get going, it kind of just falls into place.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so finding time to do it wasn't a struggle for me because I can control that, and I can control when I block that time out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's important too, is like sitting down Sunday or Saturday, whatever the beginning of your week is, and just like, here's 2 hours on Monday, here's 30 minutes on Wednesday, and just put that block there. You don't have to define what's going to be there, but just put the block there. So when you sit down, it just gets you to the desk or to the computer or whatever it is. So that's kind of how I approach that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was more so emotional of just like, wow, I'm spending an extra 2 hours every day doing this instead of watching Netflix or going having a beer with a friend, or you know what I mean? Like it's a trade-off.
Mm-hmm.
And so that part was tough because I don't like missing out. I like my friends. My partner and I spend a lot of time together. So it's like, hey, I'm carving this out in my life. You guys are gonna have to wait for the next 90 days and see how this turns out. So
No, I totally get that. But as far as how that's worked out for you, like carving that time out, have you had any points during the program, like during the last 90 days, where you had like this high point or like this, oh my gosh, this is totally going to work? Like, or an aha moment where it just kind of clicked together for you?
Um, yeah, it was that first payment I got through PayPal.
Yeah.
Like it was all I think yeah, I did post about it in the MPP group, in the training group, but I had a discovery call, sent the client that I have now, the proposal, or like basically the packages, like A, B, and C. Here's like the super aggressive, here's the moderate, here's the really easy peasy, not that expensive one. Sent it to him and said, hey, let me know if you have questions. I'm here, I'm available. If you want to talk money, I'll get creative, but otherwise, here's kind of where I'm seeing this is going. And I woke up the next morning with a notification on my phone saying that I had money in my account. So I was like, all right, so this actually is a thing. Like, this is real.
Best.
Yeah,
I love it.
it was crazy to just like, oh, here's money. Like, and I didn't have to be salesy. I didn't have to do anything weird or like out of the, like, just having a conversation of like, you have a question, I have an answer, here's how I help. If I can do that for you, do you want to move forward? Like, that's pretty much how it ended, that discovery call. So I was like, all right, well, this is possible. I just got to get people on the phone.
Yeah. And then you get paid in your sleep.
Yeah. Especially those retainers, when the 5th or the 15th rolls around, you're just like, oh, wow, I got paid this morning.
So nice. Oh
Yeah.
man, I remember seeing that post and I was so excited about it. I was like, yes, 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 yes. Nobody
Yeah.
ever believes me. When you guys post wins like that in the group, I'm like dancing around. You guys don't know how goofy I am. Like you can tell a little bit on camera, but you don't even really know how badly I sing when I'm excited and I'm dancing around the living room for you guys. It's so awesome.
No, it's a good thing. I won't lie, I did do a little dance.
Yes, yes.
I got up and danced around. I was like, this is awesome.
You had to bring back the Cabbage Patch roll.
Oh, heck yeah. That's the only way to do it.
All right, so for those people who are watching who are thinking about getting their freelancing career up and running, maybe they've been freelancing a little bit like you, or they've kind of dabbled in it. Um, what would be your top suggestion for like, okay, you've been kind of dabbling on the side, but here are like my top 3 tips or, something like that to really like get you focused and get you moving in the direction that you need to go?
Oh, that's a good question. So I think people need to start with like what they actually want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
They need to set, kind of dream a little bit and then set that vision and kind of set a goal. Um, and I like to do things this way where I'll put something out in front of me and then I'll reverse engineer how other people have done it. So if somebody can at least put that goal of like, I want to replace my day job income, or I want to make, an extra 1, 2, 3,000 on the side, doing something I enjoy doing, but I still need to keep the day job for benefits or whatever that may be.
Mm-hmm.
Have that in your mind. I think that's the first tip I'd give. Have that goal in your mind. And then once you get committed, take care of yourself emotionally and mentally and physically and everything. Like, even though you're blocking out 30 minutes to an hour every day, spend 15 minutes, go for a jog, go for a walk, like, fill yourself up, like read things, take care of yourself. So that'd be the second tip. And then the third one, which I have kind of an anecdotal thing, test your tech. Don't assume that it's going to work. Because I assume that because I have gone onto Zoom meetings on my phone that I could start one with my phone, and I forgot, I didn't know my password, and I just downloaded it and said, oh, let's do this for one of my discovery calls that I was supposed to have. And it didn't work, and I'm too far away from home to get back to my computer, so I missed a call. So I didn't test anything. I just assumed that it would work. And I lost out on helping that client. Followed up with some emails, no response. So test your stuff, test your tech once you're involved, because it'll get you.
Man. Well, we almost had that happen today because I accidentally sent you a password that I had accidentally changed. So I totally get that.
Yeah, no, it is I don't know. It's a nightmare to me because it's like, oh crap, I had this all set up. I did all this work because I didn't test this one thing.
I sent all these emails. I finally got somebody who wanted to
Yep.
talk to me. And then, no, I got it.
Yeah.
So what about for like SEO and all the really fun stuff you do? Do you have any special tips for people there?
Yeah, there's a few things. The foundation that Mike lays is really great. So the stuff that he taught with the types of blog posts, how he outlines everything, how he delivers that with the written word and stuff and SEO wise, it's fantastic.
Now, are you talking about in the No Pants Project? Or are you talking about the Happy Writer?
Happy Writer, the way he sets that up. Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's great. It's a great foundation. But there's two things that I would consider telling people is quality content. So stuff that people are actually looking for,
Mm-hmm.
and then comprehensive.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the time, the very large majority of the time, I would rather see 1 or 2 blog posts a month that are longer, that are more comprehensive around a specific topic,
Mm-hmm.
than posting 70 times a month that are really short and quick and fast.
You and me both.
Yeah. So news and media sites do that,
Mm-hmm.
but they also have a ton of traffic already because of their brand. But if you're working with smaller companies or even medium to large companies, those in-depth topics, if you know the target audience, they're going to be more engaged with that. They're going to spend more time on the page. They're going to share it. They're going to do more things with it. And those user metrics for like Google and Yahoo and stuff, they're going to send those blog posts up the page, or they're going to at least create a better foundation to raise the entire site ranking wise and engagement wise with the audience. So
those are excellent. And definitely. And, to clarify too, I just want to clear up 2 points because we mentioned 2 other programs. You mentioned, so there's the No Pants Project. And then we also mentioned the Mike's Fast Client Getting Workshop and now the Happy Writer. So Mike the guy just creates a billion products because he's super smart and he does that stuff. But to clarify, the Fast Client Getting Workshop is an add-on. You can it comes packaged as a bonus with the No Pants Project. And what it teaches you to do is if you're just getting started freelancing or you need to get clients fast, it's a cold outreach method that helps you to lock in those clients quickly. And that's included as a package bonus with the No Pants Project. Now, Happy Writer is a separate course that you can purchase. It's separate from the No Pants Project. And the emphasis with that one is on creating quality content and blogs and content direction. So if you don't know your superpower, but you really like writing, it's definitely something that you can check out that will give you some ideas on, how to write quality blog posts and how to create really good offers and things like that too. So hopefully I covered that well enough.
that sounds about right.
Okay, good. So Chris, this is your corner. What awesome, fun things would you like to tell everybody who's watching this before we close out this awesome interview?
Take the leap. Because I stood on the edge for years, tried other programs and things like that, but take the leap, do it. If it's NPP or Happy Writer or even the Fast Client Getting Workshop, if that's separate somewhere, do it. Because if you have that goal in mind of like, I want the freedom to work on projects that I want to work on, write things I want to write, help clients, help other people, have a bigger reason why you're doing the work as opposed to just a paycheck, do it. Because here in 2 weeks, I'll be on 90 days and it has been nothing but a struggle and a lot of fear and a lot of emotion and a lot of doubting myself. But the community in NPP is wonderful and they reassured me so many times and they celebrated the victories that I've had. And it is a wonderful group and a wonderful program and it's a great foundation to get going.
And you did it, and you're still doing it. You're totally on your way, man. I'm super excited for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm rolling out a bunch of Facebook ads right now because I want to get the inbound stuff going. Because outgoing cold email is just wearing on me. So I'm like, okay, I've got some money now. I'm going to run some ads.
Well, you can always outsource that too. There's a whole module on how to outsource that.
I've been looking into that too.
Yeah.
And the thing that I'm coming across with that is which industry am I going to outsource, or like by industry outsource it. So the process of like mental health professionals, it's really easy. Just go to Psychology Today in a certain city and everything's there.
Right.
Whereas like construction, people in construction very rarely respond to emails.
Yeah.
It's like, go out, push that, and send even more to try and get it. I don't know. That's the thing. That's what I want to test first.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's where it's at.
It's gonna be fun, man. You're learning your market right now. Like you're doing the kind of market research right now that is going to pay dividends in next quarter and in second quarter, because you're going to be able to dial it in and to
Yep.
really know, oh, this group responds to emails, this one doesn't, this one responds to ads, but they only respond to ads with this kind of copy in this image, and
Yep.
you're going to become the master of that market. And then when somebody's like, I need ads for this niche, or I need copy for this niche, or I need content for this niche, you'll be like, oh, this guy right here.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And that's something else I think people, maybe it's something we can add on, but like the discovery calls give you more than potential to earn a client. They give you pain points. They give you questions to answer before the call. They give you the basis for content.
Yep.
And how to run ads. And you can address that in the ad and test that and see if it works. So instead of just throwing ads up into the dark and saying, oh, I'm testing and seeing what works, now you have kind of a basis. Like some of the responses I got from the cold email, they're not clients, but they're just like, holy cow, like this is super personal. I don't like dealing with marketing people, but because of the way you did this, I'm going to refer people to you if they ask. And they just, they literally just open up and list things of like, this is what sucks. And you totally nailed it. And I wish I could afford you. So it's like, you're always getting data. You're always getting feedback.
Yeah.
Feedback loops are huge.
That's awesome. So yeah, you're even like, you're nailing it on the pain points, and then it's just targeting or tweaking the audience a little bit, trying to get to the people who can't afford you a little bit more, but you've already nailed down that pain point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Dude, you're rocking it. You're awesome.
Thanks.
So thank you for joining us all the way from Chile, Colorado. I'm going to assume you have like 3 pairs of long johns under that flannel because it's cold out there.
I do. It is pretty cold.
Well, let me know the next time you happen to find yourself in the Southeast. And I am going to be watching you in the Facebook group, because you're making huge strides in like you posting your struggles and your wins, and how you're pulling all the pieces together has been such an encouragement to myself and to many other freelancers out there. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to interview you today, because it's just super fun to see people who instantly get it. And it's even, almost a little more fun to see people who just keep trying, the strivers, and who like start to get it. And then you're like, oh man, oh, you got a little bit of it. You're just an inch away from getting the rest of it. So that's been awesome. So please keep doing that and encouraging all of us with your awesome attitude and your optimism and like your just go-getter self.
Yeah, thanks. I'm enjoying it. So
I hope so. All right, we'll see you there. And thanks again.
Yep. Thank you.